What's up, Goon Squad? It's your boy back again, Jody MF Keith, and I'm here today to let you know that yesterday I started a GoFundMe to fund my trip to MC Barcelona, which has been a topic of much discussion on Twitter, and mostly a lot of people are doing GoFundMes to help pay for the trips over to Barcelona. It is, for a lot of people coming from the States, just like a lot of pros and smaller, or not pros, but MCQ winners in smaller countries that have to come to the United States. It's a great difficulty to actually get there. Now, if you don't know what the MC is, the Mythic Championship, it's formerly known as the Pro Tour, is one of the most prestigious Magic events that Magic players can play on. Many players have been playing for 20 years or better. I know quite a few that have played for a long time and have never qualified, never have earned an invite, been playing forever. So winning one of these qualifiers is a really big deal. Now, me personally, I've played on a few Pro Tours. The first time I qualified was, that was a long time ago. I remember I was 17 years old, and I made the top 8 of a lot of qualifiers. I lost in the finals of 2, and then I was in the finals of 1 in the very end of the season. My friend ended up conceding to me to give me the invite to go to Japan. I think it was in Nagoya, and I actually had 1 month at 17 years old in New Orleans, 2005, right after Katrina. Had to come up with a birth certificate because I was born in Virginia. I had less than a month to get a birth certificate mailed from Virginia and get a passport, and all this on a minimum wage salary. And then even with the free flight, no way I could get it in time and put all this money out and then go out there and go. And then, so I missed the first time I ever qualified. So I see these people putting out these GoFundMes for their first time, or people who qualified trying to pay for their trips over there. And it's a big deal. This is people, a lot of people, it's their dream and they don't have any other way to do it. Now, I did one, and I'll get to the reasons why I made one later, but just to break it down, this whole thing, skip going, that was a big deal. But back then, it didn't really faze me that much at the time, but over the years, I always thought about, man, what if I could have went there? What if I could have went to that first Pro Tour? What if I'd have done well in that format, which I was good at, because I was really good at limited. A lot of what ifs. I got a lot of what ifs. The older you get, the more what ifs you get in your life. But at that time, it wasn't right for me. It wasn't going to work out. And I used to be the type of person where, and really not used to be, I pretty much have always been the type of person that if I needed something and I couldn't have it, I would try my damnedest to get it, which way I can try and get it. But and I'd work, hustle, whatever kind of way I could to try and make, what I was looking for come to fruition. And if it didn't work out, I was okay with that. I'd come to a point where I could settle in my mind, this isn't going to work out for me. This isn't meant to be. It is what it is. Basically, it is what it is. And I've been used to a lot of failures in my life, where things just didn't work out for me. Sometimes, most of the time, probably just from my own error, but then also, some circumstance. But I never blamed it always on my circumstances. I always felt that anybody could just rise up, bootstrap type thinking, and that's how I've always lived my life. And whenever I did see somebody throughout my life that was downtrodden or needed help, or, coming from where I come from, a lot of people need a lot of help. And luckily I've been blessed, whatever, really I've been blessed with a lot of talents, and pretty good work ethic I got from my mom, and so I've always been, a little bit better than the people around me in circumstance. So luckily I've been able to help the people around me throughout my life, and I've always been a giving person. All my best friends know me as a person that has always I give my last dollar to somebody, whether they don't have to ask for it. I give it away, and maybe that's another reason why my finances are so messed up. But basically, I've never thought about making a GoFundMe ever. I've never been the type of person that has ever liked to ask somebody for something. I've lived months and months of my life without electricity in my house. It's not something that I'm wearing as a badge of honor, but it's the type of thing that I know what it is to be without something, just because you can't. And and it has never really bothered me. Just kind of get along. You get it how it is. Try and make it better. And make yourself better, and learn something from all your experiences. That's the way I've always lived my life, and I would never think to ask anybody for anything. But competitive Magic has changed, it has evolved, and it's gotten to a point now where Wizards, they don't pay for the flights anymore. Now there is a guaranteed prize of $500 to last place, so that does help. But when we're talking about flights from New Orleans to Barcelona, I was looking at it as like $1,500 to $1,600. With that minus that $500 cost for hotel, not hotel, but just sharing an Airbnb. I went to the Pro Tour in London recently, the last one, and I think we had 11 people in an Airbnb that was only supposed to have 8. No complex about sleeping on the floor, nothing like that. So I know about like pinching it and making it work. So, as many Magic players do, because that's how we do to try and stay in the game. And they did, and not having a flight has been a serious burden for a lot of people. And now with all the costs that are associated, it's just really expensive. And that has been a topic in the last day. I got on Twitter last night before I went to bed, and I saw it was bringing a lot of people up and riling a lot of people up in different directions. And we're supposed to be a community helping people out, and like to be shaming people who are asking for a GoFundMe, it's kind of messed up. Now it's the type of thing that I would never think to do, and I actually have done everything I could in the past few weeks. The way, specifically, you got Matt Sperlin over here mocking people, making his own GoFundMe, and I don't know anything about Matt, but it seems like he's one of those enfranchised pros that have or just more well off. Not to say that that's anything against him, but I don't think he understands the experience. So that's why I'm telling you all this story about me, because maybe he just doesn't get it. Maybe he doesn't get it. There's some 19-year-old kid out here, 17-year-old kid out here qualifying. You can't be 17 anymore, but 19-year-old kid out here qualifying. But he's over here doing this thing, making a GoFundMe, and maybe he's not seeing the people that are actually out here. And I get the comparison. A lot of people say it's a joke and this and that, but I don't think you understand all the circumstances of everybody. But I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for my story. Missing that first Pro Tour that I missed, and it's just been a bad experience. That I've never really lived past it, and I gave a lot to the game, and I think even when I was in college, I maybe made some poor choices. I went on a few too many Magic tournaments. Yeah, that could be my own thing, or maybe it's the way the system is just a little different now. But I would never do this GoFundMe thing. I've tried everything. I drove a cab for 6 years. I'm the type of person, I drove a cab for 6 years, and I was doing good. Cab driving was great. Then Uber came in, okay? Killed the cab business. What do I do? Gotta make it, baby. So I'm over here in the Uber. Now I drive the Uber for a couple of years. Now everybody and their mom's driving the Uber, and Uber's lowering and lowering and lowering the rates. So this is just not viable. So what do? Jump up in the law firm. Got a contact from the cab days. Boom, dude needs me just come in. Boom, boom, boom. Temp. Next thing you know, I'm the office manager, and I'm making like almost $50K a year, and that's like insane money for where I come from. And so that's a killer. And then I'm making all this content. I'm playing more Magic because I got more money. And then I'm making all this content, and I'm doing the stream because I love telling stories and playing decks that people want to see, and trying out, learning with all the people. I have a lot of people that like to watch my content, and I enjoy having people, in the stream. If you see any of my work, I love, this is what I do. And so I made a decision that I was going to go full time. And then this law firm was getting absorbed by another law firm. Didn't take another job over there. I just went right in. I said, we're going, both feet hit the ground running. We're doing this thing full time. So I've been doing the content full time, content full time, and then, I knew I had a little savings, and I'm over here just out here, making. I know I'm coaching full time, with the mastermind coaching group. I got links down below on that. I do private one-on-one coaching. I got a lot of success stories coming out of that, and then I'm just making magic better for a lot of people, and I can share everything that I've put into the game with other people that want to get better at it. And I've been doing this, and I mean, I don't make that much money. I make enough money to pay my bills. I never asked for more than that, and it was growing, and it was doing good. And then I won a Grand Prix, and then it was really good. But then, a lot of people call in question, well, didn't you just win a Grand Prix? Why do you need this money for Barcelona? Well, first off, I won a Grand Prix 4 months ago. Okay, 4 months ago. You know what you get for winning a Grand Prix? You probably wouldn't know because there's not much coverage. But I think it's like $7.5 grand, something like that. Okay, well, I got that, and I was crying with the trophy, and they were like, oh, man. And I'm like, this one's for moms. I got my mom's. Like, you know how much money I owed my mom funding my magic trips? She asked for $2 grand. Boom, take $2 grand. Here you go. Okay, I do that. Boom, my sister's sick. She's in the hospital. Guess what? She's in the hospital for 2 weeks. How's she going to pay her rent? She got kids. Take the money. Hey, you need a couple $100? Here it is. You need this over here? Take that. I'm always been the type of person. When I drove a cab, I drove around, and I drove in New Orleans all the time. And on every 10 blocks, they got somebody standing on the corner looking for some money. And every day I would give away $5 every day. $1 to one person. Hey, man, I get $1. Here's $1. First guy asks me for 5, he gets the 5. I give away $5 every day. I believe in charity. I just never have been a person who asked for charity. And so this has been a big difference, and I still wasn't even doing it. But I woke up stressing because I did everything that I could do to try and make this thing work. Everything I could think to do. I've been driving more Uber. I've been out here doing donation deck lists, playing all kinds of crazy decks. Make sure you check out the donation deck list. I got all kinds of deck lists that I've been playing recently. People have been helping in the stream that way. I've been soliciting for new coaching clients. Like I said, driving more Uber. Been trying to turn some store credit I have in different shops into cash to try and fund this thing. Believe me, I'm the type of person that's going to make something work, because everything works out until it don't work out. And then I'll wake up and then I'm like, this thing is not going to work out. I'm trying my damnedest, but the flights are only going to get more expensive. Everything's going to be, if I don't lock in, it's going to be harder. If I don't get in a group that splits, I need to make sure that I'm in this trip. What am I going to be able to afford this thing? And then I got a phone call from my buddy Bucky, who had just top 8 at Grand Prix, and it was the first time he ever qualified. I was at the Grand Prix on my way to London, which also blew a good portion of my Grand Prix money, because I was out there housing. We split it up, but out there for a week, that was like $400 just to stay out there, and then you have to eat. And I tried to do it cheap. I bought groceries. I was just eating fruit, but I mean, different things. It just, you got to do transportation, and there's a lot to it. So the Grand Prix money was gone between my mom, London, my sister, and all that. And then but the stream was going good, and then I needed more money. I needed to pay off the rest of my credit cards. So I took this job out in Africa, a big opportunity to go out there for 12 days and go make some cash. Came back, was able to pay off a lot of my credit card debt. Boom. Now I'm like doing good. And now the stream, it took a big hit there, but then I got it back up to where I'm getting, but it's still just a modest amount of money that I'm doing for the amount of work I put in. I feel like I'm a starving artist out here, which is cool though, because I like creating art. I like creating stories. I like creating matches. I like creating decks. I think it's just a story in the game of Magic that I'm just out here making, and I know a lot of people enjoy it, and I don't want to give it up for the relationships that I've made and the people, and so I'm doing it. And I don't need to be out here #1 streamer making all this money. I mean, it's not even possible. Really, I'm just happy to be able to just live a modest Magic life over here and produce something that people like. And that's all I'm trying to do, and I've only tried to ramp it up more, and so believe me, I've tried everything. And then I woke up yesterday, and I had this thought in my mind. I was like, you know what, this thing's probably not going to work out. you're not gonna be able to go on this one, Jody. You're gonna have to sit this one out. And then Bucky called me and he qualified. He's like, man, I gotta buy a ticket to this thing. And I'm like, yeah. Now Bucky, he's got a business. Not that he has better means, but if he gets hit for $2,000, it's something he always wanted to do. It's not really gonna hurt him. But this is the type of thing that's like, look, man, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. $2,000. I probably make $1,200 a month, man. I gotta come up with this up front. Not gonna happen, Jody. Think about it. What are we gonna do? We're gonna rob somebody? Nah, man. Robbing days are over with. No, I'm joking. But I tried everything I could think, and there's no way. And so I settled in my mind, can't do it. Then Bucky called me, and then I started thinking about the first pro tour I went to, or should have went to, and I didn't go, and it was sad. It was just real sad, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, he's gonna be out there by himself. He ain't gonna know nothing. He ain't gonna know how to do it. I'm like, man, I gotta go out there for Bucky, man. I gotta do it for Bucky, man. Obviously, selfish reasons. Obviously, I like to go and I like to win a pro tour. It's a big dream of mine. But if I missed it, it'd be another pro tour I didn't qualify for. Basically, even though I qualified for it, we'll just write it off like that in my mind. And I'm actually thinking about writing it off in my head, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. There's people who would kill to qualify, and they would do anything. And so, for me to just throw one away, that would just be terrible. So I was like, well, is there anything else I could do? No, I talked to my old lady about it, and she was like, well, why don't you start a GoFundMe? And I was like, you know what? I saw a GoFundMe yesterday. Jonathan Hobbs actually started a GoFundMe, and I think this is his first one. And I was like, well, that's crazy. He started a GoFundMe, and look at the people rally behind him and help him out. I said, I don't know if I could put myself out there like that, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm a grown-ass man. I'm 31 years old, but I've given so much to this game, and I give so much to everybody. And that's what she told me. She's like, you're the most generous person I know. You do nothing but, help people out. You give away everything. That's why you can't afford this shit right now, is because you're out here, just helping everybody out. You need something, I got you. You need something, I got you. I'll try and make it work, the best you can, and try and make it easier for other people. And so why shouldn't you ask for the same? And I was like, shit, I do be doing some good ass shit sometimes. She's like, yeah, all the time. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know how to put this shit on the internet, man. They're gonna kill me on Reddit. And so sure enough, I did it. I put the Twitter, I did the thing, I jumped on the stream, and by the stream was over with, we were already up to $700. I was asking for $1,200 to try and help pay for everything, because the flights from New Orleans, like I said, are like $1,600. That's not counting, staying at Airbnb for the minimum 4 days to do the thing. I'm not trying to do any tourist shit. I'm just trying to play some Magic. Maybe have one nice meal and come back home. That's it. I went to London. I had fish and chips once, and I played Magic, and that was it. And didn't do anything crazy. And so I put the thing up there, and I was just overwhelmed by all the support that has come back. And I just cannot understand why people are just so salty. How can people just, not salty, but I don't know, be that sour about people out here asking for help and then getting it? Maybe they're just more upset at the fact that people are actually willing to give and help people out. Like, that just maybe doesn't cross their mind. I for the love of me, for the life of me, I can't understand why this is such a big issue. I kind of get it for the same reason why I wouldn't do it, but then people want to come out here and call me out and question, and they have other people too. They're out here calling out, oh, you won a Grand Prix, what was this and that. Well, I cover that. Yeah, but just questioning people you don't even know. If you knew me, you know that I wouldn't ask for this shit if I didn't need it. It's the last thing I would do. And then I did it, and I know a lot of people probably lose some respect for me because of it. Believe me, I thought about it too, but my old lady, she talked me into this shit, and it makes sense. I really have done plenty for people, and I will in the future, and have in the past. And so what's wrong with me asking once? And what's wrong with these other people asking? And guess what? If you don't like them asking, then guess what? Mute them. Delete them off Twitter. Whatever y'all do when y'all dislike people, I can't stand people block. You know, I get why people block people now. After this one, I kind of feel it, but you know, not to have all that stress every day is just good. I have people that support me in what I do, and it really means the world to me. That, you know, people either want to live vicariously through me. That's the whole point of this GoFundMe, is to help people. And if you don't want to help, then just keep scrolling. I don't know why you have to say some dumb stuff, you know. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Is this crazy that people, this is how it's come to? Is this like a wizard's problem? Is this on them? Is this on me? Maybe I should have picked a better career than playing Magic full time. I mean, there's a lot of things in all of this, not both specifically for my situation, and then also for the other people involved, and people who are on different sides of it. You know, I'd like to hear your comments. Believe me, I'm an open-minded person. Clearly, because I was pretty closed-minded about this one thing that I would never do, and I did it. So, what do you think? I have a link to I'll have a link to the campaign down below if you'd like to check it out, see what I put in there, and I definitely appreciate everybody's help so far. And thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you hate it, let the haters put the thumbs down, man. Put the thumbs up. I think the thumbs up are gonna outweigh the thumbs down. We'll see. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Hide your kids, hide your wives. Tell your friends where to find us. One love, everybody. Good vibes. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.